Hello, it's Elaine from Inspired by My Angel, CLM, and I'm back again today to show you another design I'm going to try, taking you on my wreath making journey. So what I've done is I've gone ahead, I'm using a 14-inch wreath. I've attached floral foam using zip ties going through my grapevine, and this is where I'll be placing my bow and florals. This is the first time I'm trying this design. I watched a video on it, and it looked like a design that I would enjoy trying. So for those of you who don't know me, I am new to the art of wreath making. My journey began in September of 2020. And what I've decided to do is to record myself making wreaths and letting you see the journey from a beginner's perspective. Excuse me. I watched many videos back in September on making wreaths. I had never made a wreath before and wanted to try, and was able to make one, and I absolutely loved how it came out. But more importantly, I loved what it did for me. It gave me great joy to create, and I never would have known that was the case. So my purpose for sharing with you is that perhaps I can inspire you as well to try the art of wreath making, and my hope is that you would find joy as I have. I have become quite passionate about it. I've been taken by surprise, if you would. I just can't get enough. So today we're going to create a wreath together. So first of all, let me show you what we're going to be using. I've already explained what I've done to the wreath. I've got some, if you can see this, eucalyptus. I'm going to be using for my greenery. I've got another, I'm not sure what kind it is, type of greenery. So I'll be using two types of greenery. I have this bush purples, some pansies, a little heather, some spiky ferns that I'll be using as filler. And my focal flowers are going to be these three large yellow daisies. So I think I love that color combo of the purple and yellow together. And then for my bow, I went ahead and made my bow just to save time. I know everyone's time is valuable. And this is the bow that I've made to go with this design. It's a window pane check yellow, a polka dot purple, and a solid purple. Okay? So first of all, we're going to start with our greenery. As I said, I watched a video, and the girl, a designer, and she was recording, and I just loved the idea of this design. So I thought I'd like to try it, and like I said, take you along with me on the journey. And she said it's a very good seller, and it is a simple recipe for designing a wreath. So I've made some notes, so I'm just going to look over at those. And she said what you do is it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. We're going to put two of our stems of Greenery, and I've bent them, given them a little bit of movement. We're going to put 2 on the top. So I'm going to dip it in my glue. I'm using a pan of hot glue. I'm going to dip my stems, and then I'm going to insert towards the back. This is my height. We're going to establish our line. I'm also going to use Spanish moss in areas that I see the glue. If it should cool, I want to cover that over, and I just noticed that's what happened. So you just take a little bit of your Spanish moss, roll it in a ball, like so, and just apply it to that glue while it's still warm. And just cover that over. Okay, like I said, she said to put 2 pieces on the top. So I'm just cutting from my stem here that I have. And now I would place this other one here on the opposite side. Just bending my Greenery a little, give it a little bit of movement. And insert on this side. So the majority of the design is going to, this is the height. So the top part of our wreath, you'll be able to see the grapevine. Okay, let me get another little bit of moss. If you're watching me for the first time, I do have other videos that I've done. If you like what you see, I would love it if you would check out the other designs that I've done as well. And more importantly, subscribe to my channel and comment below what you think of the video. Being new and never doing anything like this before, I would really appreciate the feedback. Let me know if there's something you would, I'm going too fast, I'm not explaining enough. Whatever feedback you could give me would be greatly appreciated. So now I'm going to take one more stem. And place it at the bottom. Just coming out, if you can see that, if I move that back a little bit, straight out the bottom. Insert. Place a little moss while the glue is damp. In the design that she did, she was using fern, but I wanted to use her technique but not copy excuse me, not copy what she did. So let me give all of these a little bend. Turning the leaves so they're in the right direction. So we've got 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom. Next, she said repeat that, do 1 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Excuse me. So here I have another stem. I'm going to do the one on the top this time. And now we're going to do 2 on the bottom on either side of the first one that we put in. So let's do that. Just looking to see where I can divide this. Okay, so I've got another stem. So I'll go to, in the back, to the other side, inserting my greenery. Just give it a little bend. And get one more piece. And as she said, I will go to the other side and insert my stem. I'm going to put a little bit of my Spanish moss on each of those. Just to hide the mechanics. So now what we've done is establish our line. Hold that so you can see it. We've got that on the top and we've got this on the bottom. Looks a little funny right now, but the end result was beautiful. So hopefully this will be a success. We won't know unless we try, right? Okay, so let's see what she did next. Next, she came back with some more greenery. Just get a piece cut. I may have to vary this a little bit because I'm not using the same greenery or florals that she used. But next she came between the two she had put at the top. Let me just put a little glue on that. And insert. Applying a little moss as I go. Now I think I'll do another one on the bottom opposite that one. Giving it a little bend. You can cut this a little shorter. So I'm going to come between the two that we have here, still going towards the back. Just introducing more texture. I think one more small piece of this over here on the other side. Or maybe over here. Yeah. A little more opposite what we have going on the top. And I'm kind of lifting up on the stems. All of the stems are wired. Okay. Then what she did next was she took and placed her bow so she would have a better idea for the placement of the focal flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And when I made the bow, I tied off the bow using a zip tie. I went back in, I don't know if you can see that, and I placed some polka dot ribbon. Can you see that? Right here in the center to cover my zip tie. And I also attached a zip tie on the back that I'm going to slip under the zip ties we have that are holding the foam. And that's how I'm going to attach my bow. I'm just sliding that under, sliding it up, attaching, and pulling it tight. And I'll cut the excess of that zip tie off. Okay, so that looks nice already. So now we've got our bow. It's taking up quite a bit of room. So this would be a nice design. Doesn't look like it's going to use a lot of product, so that it would enable you to keep your cost for making it down, being able to sell it more affordable for a purchaser. Okay, and then we'll deal with our tails later. Just have some of that greenery coming up, dispersed in the with the bow. Okay. Next, we're going to do the same thing that we did before, repeating 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom with our focal flowers. And in this case, that's my daisies. So I'm going to cut these. This has a really pretty greenery on it. I'd like to leave it on. We'll see how it looks. We can always cut it off if it doesn't look good. So placing one here with a little height behind it. Let's see. Now I'm coming forward from the greenery, was all the way to the back, giving that a bend. That looks good. So I'm going to take that out, put some glue, and go right back in that spot. Letting that leaf fall to the side. Bending our daisy. See, so it comes forward away from. Now we'll put another one, but not as tall. You want to vary the heights. You don't want everything to be on the same plane. Okay, I think that'll be good there. Again, I'm coming a little more forward. Just giving it a bend, little to the side. Don't want everything facing in the same direction. So we're staggering the height. Now we need to place one on the bottom. So that one should go in the center. So we'll go right between where our bow is. We've established a line with how far down our greenery hangs, so this floral, we wouldn't want it to go beyond that. We want to stay within that. We want to stagger back in. So this one, if you can see, I'll hold this up in a minute. So this one in the center. I'll let you see that, where I placed that one. So we've got 1, 2, 3. That's all we're going to use for focal flowers. We've got our greenery. Okay. And I do have a leaf. I'm going to hang on to that. Might like to add that down here at the bottom. Actually, let me see how it would look. We'll just bring in another texture. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to add that. Right next to where I inserted the floral. Let me show you. You can see where I added that right below. There's just a little different shading of green, which is creating some interest. It's flopped, so again, it's giving us a little more texture. And that's what we want in our design. Okay. So now next would be our filler flowers. So I'm going to cut off a few stems of this. She used about 5 stems of her filler bush. So I'm just trying to get a variety, a little bit of berry, the floral. I'm going to try to get another berry in here. This one's pretty. Okay. Just giving it a little bend. Don't want to put it in. You can just rub your fingers over these spiky leaves, almost like if you're doing curling ribbon, and just give them a little movement. You see what that did? It just curved them instead of them being like this. They were like this, just straight. Now they've got a little movement. We've got some berries. We've got our little floral. So let's see. Let's come in over here to the left-hand side beside our daisy, but shorter, giving them each their own space. Then I've got this one, like a little pansy. I'm going to bend it. Let's give it a little life. And I think that one I'll go right here in the center. That looks pretty in there. And I've got one here that has little florals and again some more berries. So I think I'm going to come from the bottom opposite where we placed that other one with the berries. So I'm just going to move my bow out of the way and come over here to the side. Get a little bit of my moss. Put some moss on that. Put some moss on that other one I placed as well. So I'll show you what I placed so far. You can see we placed one right in here. We went a little shorter here in the center, and then we came off the side. So let's continue adding some more of our, it's already nice and full. I think I'd like to see some of this purple come out here between the bow, but I'm going to cut that down a little shorter. a little closer to the bow. Can you see where I placed that? Right here, just above our other daisy. I like the contrast of that against our ribbons. Okay, I think we need to maybe come up on that side. I'm going to do the same thing. See how straight these are? Just going to take my finger and slide over it. Give it a little bit of a curl. Just so it's not straight. See the difference in that? It's amazing. We bend our berries. We bend this stem. So we've got a little more movement. And I'm thinking I want to come right up in this area. But I can make that a little bit shorter. Just need to fill in here. And that's what I'm doing now with the fillers, just like it says, filling in wherever we see. And see, I love that. It's adding another texture with the spiky greens in there. Put a little bit of moss. Getting very full. She's right. You won't need a lot of product. And if you don't need to use a lot of product, you can keep your costs down. So therefore you can share that with your customers and provide them with more affordable. Let's face it, everyone doesn't have $160, $200 to spend on a wreath. So this is a nice alternative to be able to have something in your Etsy shop for everyone. Various price points. Okay, I am going to go back and get a little bit more of that filler. We don't need much. But I am going to bring some more in. Just kind of step back and look at it. And the wreath will tell you. You'll see where you need to add. I'm thinking right up here for a little contrast next to, just coming a little bit above our yellow daisy. I'd just like to bring some of that purple next to it. Right up there, just peeking out. I like that. Give it a little bend. A little more color just peeking out. And I need to add a little on the bottom. So this is what we've got left from that bush. It even has like this little pom-pom in there. It has 3 of those. That would be nice to add for more texture. Let me get my price tag off. Okay, this is the piece that I cut. It has this heather on it. which I think is a little too heavy. I'm not going to use them. I'm going to slip that off. But it has that, I don't know if that's a thistle. And I'm going to add that over here, coming out the side on the left. I'm going to trim this a little bit shorter. That looks nice. Just get a little moss in there. I know I'm not set up for the best for doing my videos. I'm hoping in time it will get better. So bear with me, please. Okay, we put one there, so I'm thinking we need to place another one down here. So let me cut off another, but again, I don't think I'm going to use the heather. It just makes it seem a little too heavy. This is, you know, airy, and I'd like to maintain the airiness of it. Okay, this one being a little bit longer. Yep, we'll let that come down. Here. Just put a little moss. Because remember, we hadn't covered our foam with moss because we didn't want to hide the area for insertion. So now it's slowly being covered as we add our pieces. Okay, I need something over here as well. We've got another piece of that. So I think I used a little more than the designer that the video I watched. I think I've used a little more of the filler. That could just be my inexperience in placement or the type of flowers that I'm using versus what she used for her design. That coming out there would be pretty. We'll go back. We'll see if we can put that heather in. Pulling my glue strings off. I don't like the way that one went in. It's kind of floppy. Whoops, I pulled it right off. Let me reapply this. Just pull that, cut that end a little bit more. There, that's there. Now I got a good insertion. You can hear the foam as you make good contact with it. Okay, if you can see what I've done here, I'll try to get this in the camera. I added some more down here We've got some of that greenery here. Oops. Went over and got some of the berries coming out on this side. We've got some of our pansies peeking out here and here, and then also up there. We've got those florals. And it's really very full. I would say it doesn't need anything else. It's bright, it's cheerful. This would be nice, could be used for Easter with the purple, for Lent. All spring, and with daisies, this would go right through the summer. This would bring you right up to fall. Very, very nice. And that didn't take too long. At least it didn't seem like it was too long to me. So again, what I've done today is created this wreath with you, with the hope that I'll inspire you to try this as well. Come along with me on my journey. May it give you joy as it has me. The only thing that I would ask is subscribe to my channel, visit my Etsy shop, like and share. That will help my business grow. Comment. Let me know how I'm doing. I would really enjoy the feedback. So again, my name is Elaine. I'm owner and creator at Inspired by My Angel, CLM. Thanks for coming along with me today, and I hope to see you again. You have a wonderful day. Thank you.